How's it going, everyone? This is Spencer from Crimson Ledger Comics, and today I'm going to be reviewing Absolute Batman number 16. Um, I already had a copy of this on pre-order from my comic book shop, not the actual website, my comic book shop, but my personal one. That's one I've gone to for the longest time. I want to say over 10 years. Technically, I don't go to him now. He ships my stuff. But if you're ever in Rochester, New York, check out 13th Verse Comics. It's in a shop called The Shops in Westridge. He's great. Michael, absolutely class act guy. He'll talk to you about stuff if he isn't busy. Sometimes he gets busy. That's understandable, right? But he'll talk to you. He'll discuss stuff. He actually reads the comics. He loves comics. His shop is great. Lots of back issues, always new stuff, and great prices. Go check him out if you're ever in Rochester. But aside from that promo, which I'm not paid, by the way, Michael is my friend, so I'll shout him out any day. I have one of the covers. Is this the B cover? It's the Frank Cho cover, which is actually one that I like. Most of the Frank Cho covers I don't like because they're kind of cheesecake, TNA. It's not really my thing. And before I get too far into rambling, which I usually do by now, I'm going to start off with the basic story of this issue, and then I'm going to delve into a little more what I think of the art, what I think of the story, and my recommendations. If you don't want any spoilers, I will say this book is a recommend. I do very much like this issue. I don't like it as much as the Absolute Wonder Woman comic that I reviewed the other day that was also a crossover with Batman. However, this is really good. Pick it up. It's out this week, or when I'm reading it, it's this week. And seriously, do yourself a favor, pick up Absolute Batman. These are good comics. And let's get into the story. So spoilers. If you're on a ladder, get off that ladder. Come, turn off my video, and you have 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. So the story of this issue is Bruce is trying to find a cure for Weyland here. Obviously, as you know, or if you've been keeping up with the Absolute line, Weyland was turned into a giant alligator crocodile monster thing. So Bruce, he's been working. He's back to work as an engineer. We're kind of reminded of that as it's not been a major factor. And he's meeting back up with his friends, with Harvey Oswald, who are kind of ragging on him for, not being that great of a hero. His friends got hurt, maimed, disfigured in a very physical and violent way. So Bruce right now is motivated to kind of find some form of cure or something that might be able to help Weyland out a bit, to kind of transform him out of his alligator crocodile self, because he's becoming more feral. And I just want to show that double page spread. Look at that. That's great. I love Nick Dragotta's artwork on this. But in order to do this, in order to actually find a cure, because Batman doesn't know of any way to do it himself, he sees this legend, which is kind of foreshadowing who he's going to be fighting. and he calls upon Wonder Woman. And this is an artifact that he got in that last issue. If you watch that video, if not, go watch the video. But him and Wonder Woman go on an adventure through a wasteland. They kind of get to know each other. They are flirty in this issue too, so I feel as though that is something that they might develop in the future. But they get into this fight with Akrollos, I believe. Was it Akrollos? I don't think it was. Yes, it's Akrollos. So Akrollos is able to transform people from human into centaur or horse. I think it's horse, and then horse into human. And we have interspersed here some moments with Bruce's dad, because they technically are in hell. And of course they have the battle, and it doesn't go as planned. I'm just going to leave it at that. And to be a little more spoilery, Bruce ends up walking away with an arrow that can transform people from 4 legs to 2, and he ends up giving it to Waylon. And that's kind of the story. So we'll go a little into the art a bit. I quite like... Oh, I dropped my other comic that I had here. I like Nick Dragotta's artwork. I find it to be very dynamic and expressive at the same time. And let's see if there's any more. Yeah, just have you take a look. For me, one of the things that I like about the one other Absolute book more than this is that I feel as though the panels are a little more well thought out, or the compositions, I should say, is a little more well thought out in some other comics. This just kind of feels like a way to bop along, and you're not really being directed as much. However, that's not really anything against Nick Dragotta. I know he is a bit rushed for this series. It does communicate everything that it needs to. In fact, the art is good. Don't get me wrong. The art is very good, and I especially love this cover here. You can see that. But yeah, I give this book a recommend. I think Absolute Wonder Woman 15 is better. I would recommend that book over this one. However, this is good. Please go pick it up. We need to make sure that we're voting with our dollar. If you like comics, you'll like this book, you'll like Absolute Wonder Woman, you'll like most of the other Absolute books. Give it a shot. Absolutely 100 million times this is a recommend. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So thank you for watching. You have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like and subscribe or whatever, all the YouTube things, I suppose. And well, see ya.